you, what are you so gloomy about? Heavens, what a movie after smile. Don't do it again. You needn't be polite with me, you know. I love to talk to myself, and your replies are no good anyway. A second ago you said no, when any perfect gentleman should have said yes and agreed with me.
I guess I'm out of color tonight.
Indigestion. I ate too much myself. We all do out here. But it's jolly to be a glutton once in a while after a starving growth-in studio diet. Howdy, gorgeous himself. He's losing his spiritual waistline since we began coming out here. Have you noticed?
No.
Yes. He's gradually assuming the blubber of prosperity, giving up tree bursts for free food. Well, he hasn't written a real poem since my last Welsh rarebit.
Thank God the situation has some redeeming features.
He has some real stuff every now and then, when he forgets himself for a moment. Where's Mother? I haven't seen her since dinner.
Mother?
Your mother-in-law, Mrs. Ashley. Only I could call her that. She's a dear. Where is she, I wonder?
I don't know.
Probably out chaperoning those two. How bored they must be with each other. It's too dark for Gabe to read his poems, and without the sound of his own voice to spur him on, he's a stick. I bet they're holding hands saying, "Ain't nature grand?"
Damn.
You're not jealous of Gabe, are you?
Jealous? You think I'm crazy?
I don't know. You would be if you were. Do you want a drink?
Yes.
I can assure you Gabe is entirely harmless. He's in love with himself, and there's not a rival in sight. Do sit down. There's something wrong with you. What is it? Tell me. You're not falling in love with me, are you?
I am not.
Well, you needn't be so unflatteringly emphatic about it. But it's just as well. You do have a certain physical appeal, as I've often said, but I've given up sex for good. I've been through it all, and there's nothing in it for anyone who wants to create something real.
Take your word for that, Miss Barnes.
The next time you call me that, I hope you choke. What's the matter with Leo? Of course, it's not my real name. I bet you never guessed what horrible title my silly parents wished on me.
What was it?
Pearl. Imagine Pearl. I simply couldn't put up with Pearl. We once had a colored cook who was called Leonora. She said she was named after a racehorse, and I liked the sound of it and swiped it. So, Leonora I've been ever since. Oh, there is something wrong. Tell me.
It's nothing.
Is it business worries then?
Yes. Sort of.
I'd say you haven't been dabbling in Wall Street and robbing the till, have you? Oh, that would give me a moment, seeing a movie crook in real life.
I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you.
I suppose it's the price of paper or some other dull thing that's bothering you. Oh, isn't more. Hello, hello, hello. Well, here you all are.
Oh, hello. Didn't expect to see you back from your walk so soon.
It was becoming chilly outside, so we thought we'd better come back.
Oh, I say, this is a bore. You're all as glum as a tree full of owls. Let's do something. Anything.
Well, I'm game. What do you have in mind?
Let's motor into town and take in some theater.
That's a good idea, Leo. What do you think, Lucy?
I don't care, Mother. Well, isn't there some perfectly shocking burlesque we could take in? That would be a lark.
What silly nonsense.
Speak when you're spoken to, Gabe, my dear.
Oh.
Isn't there one?
No, I'm hardly posted on the subject.
Well, of course, Leo's only joking. She knows Mother wouldn't go.
Well, I'll bet she would. She's more of a sport than any of us. Now I ask you, Mother, wouldn't you go?
It's so long since I've been to one, my dear. I'm afraid I'm not young enough to enjoy them anymore. But I suggest we eliminate all serious plays for tonight. I'd like something cheerful. Something with jokes and music. Say a good musical comedy.
I'm afraid, Mrs. Ashley, you won't find that in a country where vulgarity is mistaken for humor.
They do it differently in Jersey City, eh, Gabe?
Don't mind Gabe, he's only posing. He went with me last winter to see
know, you cutie. The press agent gave us passes, you know. And then nearly went into hysterics laughing. And the next day, the papers came out and called it the most vulgar exhibition that had ever disgraced New York Theater.
I was not myself that night, and you know it.
You were Swiffy, you mean? The rest of the audience knew it, too. That's no excuse. In vino veritas, you know, and all the rest.
This looks good. The new show at the casino. I'll phone for tickets.
I'm afraid... thank you just the same, Drayton, but the fact is, I've just remembered an engagement...
Liar!
Will you hold your tongue?
Sorry, you won't be joining us. That'll be 4.
I don't think I care for that kind of amusement either. Oh, I say, here's our party breaking up already.
Do you mean you won't go?
I think not.
Oh, do come, dear. I'm sure you'll enjoy a little foolishness for a change.
No, I've such a headache, I don't think I can appreciate it tonight.
Then perhaps we'd all better stay.
Oh, no, you three run along. I'm sure Gabriel will keep me company, at least part of the time, of his engagement.
That was nothing of any importance. I can phone. I'd be delighted to remain, Mrs. Drayton.
Well, that's settled then. Hurry up and phone them, make me so loud.
That'll be 3.
I do hope there are acrobats in it. I just adore acrobats. They're so decorative in their tights and spangles. I'd like to paint them.
I'm sure the acrobats would consider you a fellow craftsman if they ever saw your work.
I could say a few words about your own trapeze stunts and free verse, but I won't. You can't pick a fight with me tonight, Gabe. I've had too much dinner.
Oh, when does it start, I wonder? Look in the paper, Leonora, will you?
You won't miss anything if you're late, Mother. Those productions were concocted for the eye, for the tired businessman.
Exactly.
Well, we'll have one with us then, Tom, so he'll enjoy it. I can never find anything in the beastly papers.
All they had was a stage box. I told them to reserve that for us.
A box? Good heavens, look at me. I can't go in a box.
Why not? You're all right.
Well, yes, Mother.
No, I really couldn't go looking like this. Besides, I was thinking while you were gone that perhaps, after all, I'd better not go.
Oh, do come along.
No, I really couldn't. Mr. Ashley will expect me home early this evening after my staying out here for the past 2 nights. But I'll ask him to drive out and pick us up, and then we can drop you 2 off at the theater.
All right, Mother, if you think it best.
Why not call it all off for tonight?
Well, I guess not. I must have my acrobats tonight or die. What will I wear, I ask you? If I go like this, they'll think I'm one of the performers.
Well, Lucy can give you something, I'm sure.
Well, I'd be glad to. It's just, you seem to forget that Leo's a different size.
Oh, well, I can fix that all right. I've worn too many higher costumes to masquerades not to know how to make things look a fit. With a few pins. Oh, your maid can help me. I'll be ready in no time. I can wear your fur coat to the box and then sit in the back when we get there. No one will know the difference. Oh, Lucy, you're a dear.
We'll have to hurry if we're going to be on time.
And I need to call Mr. Ashley.
Don't worry, old love. I'll be in my fishing suit just as soon as you are. Come on and show me what I can wear, Lucy. I promise not to tear it.
Very well. If you don't mind.
Mind? I think it's no end of a lark. Oh, you'll take upstairs too, Mother, and help tuck me in, won't you?
Certainly, my dear.
Why don't you just run along with Mother?
Oh, roll the damn cheek. Damn!
What in the world are you pacing like that for?
To tell you the truth, I was about to give way to a stupid fit of rage.
About what?
Why, the way Leo jumped at wearing your gown. It was so nervy of her, so ill-mannered, so...
Well, I'm sure she's welcome to it if she thinks she can make it fit.
I was never so ashamed of anything in my life.
I wouldn't take it so seriously if I were you.
Leo is too preposterous at times.
Please, let's just drop the subject.
I beg your pardon.
Do you know anything good for a headache?
Why, bromo seltzer, isn't it?
Never brought me any relief.
It's supposed to be good.
Well, it isn't.
Is it very bad?
What?
Your toothache.
My toothache. I haven't...
I mean your headache.
Splitting.
I'm so sorry. Isn't there anything I can do?
No, thank you, I think not.
How shall we spend the evening? Can't we,
Yes?
What do you say to a walk?
You've just come from one. And besides, it's too chilly.
There must be something we can do. We can't just sit here all night like a couple of mummies. It's ridiculous.
Well, if you'd rather go home.
Oh, you know I didn't mean that, Lucy. I'm terribly out of key. Don't be cruel to me. I only want... I love you so much that I can't bear to have anyone... Oh, forgive me.
Don't be silly.
Silly?
Someone's liable to walk in at any moment.
Oh, yes, of course. You're right. I'm too impulsive. I seem to forget these infernally stupid conditions. What are they doing all this time?
Well, they haven't been gone 5 minutes.
Seems like 5 years. You wouldn't care to have me read to you, would you? I have a couple of new poems here that I'm sure you haven't heard. I think they're some of the best things that I've done, and it was your inspiration which gave birth to them all. Shall I read them?
No, thank you. I think not. Well, I have such a headache tonight, I don't think I could appreciate them.
I'm afraid my poems are commencing to bore you. In fact, I'm quite sure they bore you.
Don't misunderstand me. I said nothing of the kind.
But there was something in your voice which...
One can't read
I
them.
promise I won't bore you with them again in the future.
As I was trying to say, one can't be in the mood for poetry all the time.
Hmm.
We aren't all poets.
Decidedly not.
And, well, some of your poetry is rather difficult to understand.
One must possess a fine soul to really appreciate any true poetry.
By which you mean I have not?
I didn't mean anything. I wasn't thinking of what I was saying. What difference does it make what I meant? My mind is on something else. What time is it? They'll be late. What could be keeping them up there so long?
You're in a fine temper tonight.
I tell you, I won't endure it any longer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. You aren't blind. You can see what's in front of your own eyes, can't you? I'll tell you what I mean. I mean the shameless affair between your husband and Leo, which is going on openly, right here, right in your own house. And if you don't put a stop to it, I will.
I refuse to discuss the matter with you.
Oh, please, Lucy. Don't be angry with me. Don't take that attitude. Why shouldn't we discuss it with each other? No one else does. No one cares. It's an insult to our intelligence the way they flaunt it before us. It's revolting. We simply must put a stop to it, that's all.
Well, speak for yourself. For my part, Tom is free to do as he chooses.
Ha! Just you try and see how far you're free to do as you choose. You'll soon have your eyes opened.
Well, you're mistaken. He and I are both equally free. We signed a contract to that agreement the night before we were married.
Pooh. A lot of attention he'd pay to that if you ever dared go so far as he has.
I don't understand you.
You mean you won't understand me? It seems you prefer to be blind.
Well, I see a purely harmless flirtation, and that's what you're driving at.
Purely harmless? Flirtation? Well, aren't you a little innocent, if this isn't a pose of yours?
This isn't a pose. I'm simply telling you how I feel in spite of all of your nasty insinuations. I know Tom would
It's
tell
a
me.
shame, a beastly shame for him to treat you this way. And Leah, why, she's a little fool. But you must come to know the truth. It's decidedly serious when you get to know the facts.
It's a lie, and I won't listen to you.
It's the truth, and you've got to realize it. I won't stand for it. It's too humiliating.
You must be mad. You've no proof of what you're saying.
Haven't I? How do you know? You've heard Leo rave about him as a cursed great blonde beast, haven't you? Hmm? Have you read Nietzsche? Do you think Leo has any moral scruples about anything? Well, I don't. And where have they gone on all these motor trips?
They've always told us where they went.
You think they told us the truth? Well, I am hardly as naive as that.
Well, do you mean to say they lied? Well, why would you say such a thing?
I know. And that's enough. And where have they gone, on all these motor trips?
It's a lie, and I won't listen to you.
It's the truth, and you've got to realize it. It's humiliating. I won't go on this way.
So this is your idea of free comradeship? Hasn't she a right to her own soul?
No, she's a fool.
And if she loves someone else?
She doesn't. She only thinks she does. She's a fool, I tell you. You simply must put a shame to this intrigue, this shameless intrigue.
I must.
Yes, you must. Tell him. I won't stand for it. Yes, tell him he mustn't see Leo anymore.
Oh, this is absurd. Do you think I would degrade my pride to that extent?
But you must save me, Lucy. I implore you. I'd be lost without her. I couldn't even find my toothbrush. I wouldn't even know when to get up. And besides, it's nothing to you but your hurt pride, because he's your husband. You don't really care anything about him.
Dare you say that?
But you love me, don't you?
Love you? Do you think I've lost my mind, you stupid little egotist?
But your actions, the things you said, the things you led me believe.
But it was you who said you loved me.
Oh, but I say that to every woman. They know I'm a poet and they expect it.
And did your conceit make you think that I had taken you seriously and had fallen in love with you? Oh, this is too disgusting!
But think of all the confessions you made about your unhappy home life. You can't deny them. What was I to believe in heaven's name? But you'll persuade him not to run away with Leo, won't you? All the more reason to do so if you love him and don't want to lose him. They're liable to fly off tonight, I tell you. You have no idea what a fool Leo is.
Why don't you talk to her?
Oh, she's such a fool. She wouldn't listen to me. You're the only chance I've got.
And you ask me to do this?
Oh, but you must. There's no other way.
And you can dare to continue to insult me by suggesting such a thing?
Then you won't.
No! No, let him go if he wants. And besides, after what you've told me, I never want to speak to him again. And Leo's free to go. She isn't married to you.
Did she tell you that? It's a lie. It's cowardly of her to deny it.
Do you mean to tell me you're married?
Oh, of course we're married. We've been married for 2 years. Why do you laugh like that? It's the truth.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Well, the only reason we concealed it was because we were taking a studio together in Greenwich Village when we moved to New York, and we were afraid they'd consider us provincial down there if they knew. Why in God's name do you laugh like that?
Oh, go away. Go away. I can't bear the sight of you. Please, just leave me alone.
Oh, I'll go crazy if you don't stop that. I must get out of this rabbit hutch. I must go out under the stars to think. I must have clean air to breathe.
Lucy, what's the matter? Oh, go ahead, have a good cry, get it over with. Oh. Now tell me the cause of this breakdown.
It's nothing, Mother. My nerves are just worn out and I haven't slept much the past week.
No, you poor child.
And I've such a splitting headache and I'm so sick of everything and everybody. I wish I were dead or off someplace alone.
Now, dear, you mustn't begin again in that foolish, morbid
Won't
strain.
be what I want in spite of all of you.
Lucy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mother. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Please just leave me alone.
But what happened? Please tell me. Did Gabriel do something
What
that
does he have to do with me?
Seems to me, my dear, he's had a lot too much to do with you during the last month.
Oh, then you all must have evil, suspicious minds to be so suspicious of everything.
Lucy, do you realize what you're saying?
Oh, he was amusing, and that was all.
Even his love-making, Lucy, was that amusing?
He makes love to everyone, and he told me so himself. I never took him seriously.
There's one person who was made very unhappy by it. Someone who loves you very much.
Who? You, Mother?
Indeed not. I gave you credit for too much good sense. Gabriel didn't bother me in the least.
Well, it couldn't have been anyone else.
I was speaking of Tom.
Oh, Tom!
Oh, why do you adopt that tone? Don't you believe me? Do you imagine it's been pleasant for him to see you always with that crack-brained piece of conceit?
He's had plenty of consolation.
You mean Leo? Don't be silly, child.
Silly. If you only knew!
I do know all about it, and it's your own fault. What could you expect? When you and Gabriel were eternally mooning around together, did you think that Leo and Tom would mope in separate corners until you were through amusing yourselves? Remember the contract you drew up yourself, equal liberty of action. You've no reason to complain, my dear. It serves you right.
You can continue to taunt me in this manner.
Yes, I can. You deserve it.
Oh, the stupid, disgusting liaison!
Those are strong words. I didn't know they were used anymore outside of cheap melodrama.
I feel as if there were no words vile enough to describe how I feel.
Lucy, come. Don't overact your part of the abused wife. Vile, shameless, disgusting liaison? What extravagant terms to use for an amusing flirtation.
Then you must not know. You're just trying to hide it from me. Oh, I feel as if there are no words of truth left in this world.
Lucy, is that the way you speak to your mother? Let's get to the bottom of this. I don't understand you. What is it that I don't know?
You must not know, or you wouldn't taunt me with it. That Leo is now Tom's mistress! See? Now you know. Now you can tell me it's all my fault. That I brought it on myself. All my fault. That I brought it on myself. And it serves me right.
Lucy, what a wicked lie. I'm ashamed of you.
I knew you wouldn't believe me. Such things don't happen in your world. You think everyone's so nice and proper.
Has your mind become so distorted that you can believe an infamous falsehood like this?
I know what I've seen, and what I've suspected, and what I know to be the truth. Do you think I can put any trust in the silly tales that they have told us?
Stop, Lucy. I refuse to listen to you when you accuse Tom of deliberately lying to you, of deceiving you in the basest manner.
Of course he's a liar. They're all liars. Everyone lies. But what about their teas alone together in the studio? Or all those exhibitions of paintings, which I know Tom hates. And the time he said they had to stay in town alone for the night. Does he... Do you think I'm a fool?
Are you out of your mind? Do you realize what you're saying?
That great blonde beast. She can have him. You must deliver a message to him for me. Tell him I never want to speak to him again.
Oh, Lucy.
And tell him I will leave this house tomorrow, and I never want to see him again.
I will if you'll just stop talking wildly and listen to me. Oh, come, Lucy, you're trembling all over. I'm afraid you'll be ill. Try to calm yourself. The state you worked yourself into, and all over nothing. Now listen to me.
I warn you, Mother, nothing you can tell me will change the resolve I've taken.
You can do whatever you think is best. You can come home tomorrow and stay with your father and me for a
I don't
while.
want to go home and be driven insane by Father's constant internal nagging and questioning. And you, even you are against me.
Oh, Lucy, you know that isn't so.
Oh, I don't want to go home. I don't need your sympathy or help. I'll just go out and live my life as I choose.
as you like. No one is objecting to that. Now listen, and I will explain this whole misunderstanding away. Now, will you believe your mother when she swears to you that this whole apparent affair between Leo and Tom was all a secret plot of ours, of Tom's and mine, to make you jealous, to rid you of the nasty influence of that...
Mother, I can't bear it. Do you think I'm a child to be put off by such a silly cock-and-bull story as that? That you and Tom suspected me of something terrible and then planned to do your best to make me miserable?
But my dear, you haven't heard
I
the
don't
whole-
want to hear any more. Please, just leave me alone.
Okay, all right. Mention the matter again. Don't you think you ought to go upstairs and go to bed? You'll be sick tomorrow.
I'd rather die than go upstairs with her.
Go outside then. Take a walk. The fresh air will do you good.
See that? She can't even look at me.
You mustn't mind her tonight, Tom. She's in a dreadful state of nerves.
It's not just tonight, it's every night, and I'm sick of it.
Shh, she might hear you.
Well, I don't care if she does. It's about time she finds out how I feel about some things. I'm tired of being treated like a dog. And this fine plan of yours is messing things up worse than ever. This Leo is driving me nuts. She's too exuberant. I'm not in love with the idea of this theater party. I have a good notion to chuck it.
Perhaps you'd better.
No. Oh, I'll be darned if I will. Lucy will only think I want to spy on her and that puppy of hers.
I see I have 2 big children who need spanking instead of 1.
This is nothing to laugh at. I've half a mind to go out there and have it out with her right now.
No, Tom, please don't now.
Why not?
Because she's in a dreadful state of nerves. She'd only become hysterical if you started to quarrel with her. Wait till you come back. I'll see to it that she gets rested up before then and willing to listen to reason.
She's not really ill, is she?
No, but someone's been telling her some nasty tales.
About me? Oh, I'll bet it was that little...
No, I'll explain it all to you later. Not here, not now. You want me to straighten that tie for you?
Oh, I can get it all right, but I left it for Lucy. She usually thought I'd have an excuse.
Now I ask you, aren't I the ultimate gasp? My dear, he was sigh, I'll be in the nude. That'll give the audience a moment. You don't mind, do you?
You can go the limit as far as I'm concerned.
You look bewitching in that dress, doesn't she, Tom? White is your color.
Well, blessed are the pure. Whatever it is they inherit. I say, look at you. I thought you were ready. Look at your tie. Let me fix it. There. Now, aren't we beautiful?
You have 3 minutes to put on the rest of your armor if anything's missing.
I think I'm all right, excepting my coat. Oh, I've forgotten my beauty spots. I must have beauty spots. Oh, and shoes. They'll help cover my nakedness. I'll be right down.
No. Damn it. Here I am starting out without a cent in my pocket. What a pickle we'd have been in.
Wait. I have a few more words to say to you before you go.
All right, Mother.
But not here. I'll go up with you.
Is that the caller? Lucy?
We'll be late.
Lucy!
She's probably out in the garden mooning with Gabe. Come on.
Oh, good God.
Oh, good heavens, she must have fainted.
No, look.
Lucy!
She shot herself. Shot herself?
Well, if she did, she must have missed. She doesn't have a wound anywhere. Well?
Oh, I forgot. It's never been loaded.
You weren't going to do that on account of what I said earlier this evening about them, were you? Oh, don't be a fool and take me seriously. No one ever does, you know. Just my infernal jealous imagination. Believe that.
There. Everything's all right now, darling.
Oh, kiss me, Gabe. It's being done just now.
You are a fool.
Oh, but the shot! The shot!
Good heavens, one of my tires just blew out as I came up the line.